Hey there, Roothaven Grounds family. Can we talk about one of the most game-changing practices I've adopted in my garden? Fall cover crops. I know. When autumn rolls around, most of us are thinking about pumpkin spice and cozy sweaters, not planting more seeds. But hear me out, because what you do this fall will literally transform your spring garden in ways that'll make your neighbors wonder what secret magic you're working with. Here's the thing. Bare soil over winter is like leaving your house unlocked with the door wide open. You're inviting erosion, nutrient loss, weed invasion, and soil compaction to just waltz right in and wreak havoc. But when you plant cover crops in fall, you're essentially tucking your garden beds in with a protective living blanket that works overtime while you're inside sipping hot cocoa. These plants are actively building soil structure, fixing nitrogen, suppressing weeds, and breaking up compaction, all while you're doing absolutely nothing. I've been using cover crops for years now, and the difference in my spring soil quality is honestly mind-blowing. We're talking darker, richer, fluffier soil that practically begs you to plant in it. So let me walk you through my top 5 fall cover crops that'll set you up for the most explosive spring growth you've ever experienced. Let's start with the absolute champion of fall cover crops, winter rye. If you're only going to plant one cover crop this fall, make it this one. Winter rye is tough as nails and will germinate in soil temperatures as low as 33 degrees Fahrenheit, which means you can plant it later than almost any other cover crop and still get excellent results. What makes winter rye so special? Its root system is absolutely phenomenal. We're talking roots that can reach down 6 feet or more, breaking through compacted soil layers that your tomatoes and peppers could never penetrate on their own. Those deep roots create channels that improve drainage and allow air to flow deeper into your soil profile. When spring comes and you cut down that rye, all those roots decompose and leave behind organic matter deep in your soil, not just at the surface. Winter rye also produces allelopathic compounds, basically natural weed suppressants that'll keep your beds cleaner come spring. I plant mine anywhere from mid-September through late October, broadcasting the seed at about 2 to 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet. You want a thick stand, so don't be shy with your seeding rate. The plants will grow a few inches before winter really sets in, then they'll hang out all winter and explode with growth in early spring. You'll want to cut them down or mow them before they go to seed, typically in mid to late spring, then either till them in or let them decompose as mulch. Now, if you want to combine beauty with function, crimson clover is calling your name. This legume is one of my absolute favorites because it does double duty. It fixes atmospheric nitrogen into your soil, while also producing these stunning crimson red flower spikes in spring that'll have you running for your camera. Crimson clover works through a symbiotic relationship with rhizobium bacteria in the soil. These bacteria colonize the clover's roots and convert atmospheric nitrogen into a form your plants can actually use. We're talking about potentially adding 70 to 150 pounds of nitrogen per acre completely free without a single bag of synthetic fertilizer. For those of us with smaller gardens, that translates to genuinely noticeable improvements in plant vigor and yields the following season. I plant crimson clover in early fall, usually by mid-September, because it needs time to establish before the hard freezes hit. The sweet spot for planting is when soil temperatures are still above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Broadcasted at about 15 to 20 pounds per acre, or roughly half a pound per 1,000 square feet. The plants will grow through fall, slow down in winter, then really take off in spring. Let them flower if you can. The pollinators will thank you. Then cut them down before they set seed. Give them a couple weeks to start decomposing on the surface before working them into the soil. If crimson clover is the beauty queen of nitrogen fixers, hairy vetch is the overachiever. This legume is incredibly cold hardy, making it perfect for those of us in zones where winters actually feel like winter. Hairy vetch can fix even more nitrogen than crimson clover. We're talking up to 200 pounds per acre under ideal conditions. What I love about hairy vetch is its versatility. It has this vining growth habit that allows it to scramble over the soil surface, creating a dense mat that absolutely smothers weeds. Its root system also improves soil structure beautifully, and the organic matter it provides when you terminate it is nitrogen-rich and breaks down relatively quickly, making those nutrients available right when your spring crops need them most. The secret to success with hairy vetch is inoculating the seed with the appropriate rhizobium bacteria if you're planting it in a bed for the first time. You can buy inoculant online or at farm supply stores, and it's incredibly cheap insurance for making sure those nitrogen-fixing nodules actually form. Plant hairy vetch in early fall, around the same time as crimson clover, at about 20 to 30 pounds per acre. One pro tip: many gardeners like mixing hairy vetch with winter rye in about a 50-50 ratio. The rye provides support for the vining vetch, and you get the benefits of both a grass and a legume working together. Austrian winter peas are like the friendly neighbor of cover crops. Reliable, easy to get along with, and always doing their part. These legumes establish quickly, tolerate cold beautifully, and fix a respectable amount of nitrogen while they're at it. They're also more forgiving than some other legumes if you get them planted a bit late. What sets Austrian winter peas apart is their relatively fast fall growth. They'll put on more biomass before winter than something like hairy vetch, which means more organic matter to work with come spring. Their roots also have a nice fibrous structure that improves soil aggregation and creates better tilth. If you're working with heavy clay soil like I battle with in parts of my garden, that improved structure makes a world of difference. Plant Austrian winter peas in early to mid-fall at about 50 to 80 pounds per acre, or roughly 1 to 2 pounds per 1,000 square feet. Like hairy vetch, make sure to inoculate if this is your first time growing legumes in that particular bed. These peas will grow through fall, overwinter reasonably well depending on your climate, then resume growth in spring. Cut them down when they start flowering, typically in late April or May, and incorporate them into the soil about 2 to 3 weeks before planting your warm season crops. Let me tell you about oats, the cover crop that saved my bacon more times than I can count when I've dragged my feet on fall planting. Oats are what we call a winter kill cover crop in most climates, meaning they'll die back naturally over winter without you having to do a thing. For those of us who want the benefits of a cover crop without the spring termination work, oats are pure gold. Oats germinate quickly and establish a thick stand that suppresses weeds beautifully through fall. Their root systems help break up compaction and add organic matter to the soil. The best part? When winter temperatures consistently drop into the low 20s Fahrenheit, the oats will die back, leaving behind a nice mat of mulch on your soil surface that continues protecting against erosion while slowly decomposing and adding nutrients. You can plant oats later than most other cover crops, even into October in many areas, and still get good results. Broadcast them heavily, at about 3 to 4 pounds per 1,000 square feet, because you want that thick stand for maximum benefit. The winter-killed residue makes spring planting incredibly easy. You can often plant right into it with minimal disturbance, or lightly incorporate it if you prefer. Just keep in mind that in milder climates, oats might not winter kill reliably, so know your zone before counting on this feature. The beautiful thing about cover crops is that they're honestly pretty foolproof once you get the hang of them. Your main considerations are timing and termination. Get your seeds in the ground while soil temperatures are still warm enough for germination, generally by mid to late September for most crops, though winter rye gives you more latitude. Make sure the seed has good soil contact by raking lightly or walking over the bed after broadcasting. Come spring, you'll need to terminate your cover crops before planting. The timing depends on what you planted and what your spring garden plans are. Generally, you want to cut or mow them down before they set seed. Then either till them in or let them decompose on the surface as mulch. If you're tilling them in, wait 2 to 3 weeks before planting to let them start breaking down and avoid nitrogen tie-up issues. The transformation you'll see in your soil is genuinely addictive. After just one season of cover cropping, you'll notice improved tilth, better water retention, and healthier, more vigorous plants. After a few years, your soil will be unrecognizable compared to where you started, darker, richer, and absolutely teeming with life. So here's my challenge to you, Roothaven Grounds family. Pick one of these cover crops and give it a shot this fall. Start small if you need to. Even just dedicating one bed to cover cropping will show you what's possible. Your spring garden is going to thank you in ways that'll make all the difference in your harvest. If you found this helpful, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future tips and techniques that'll take your garden to the next level. And hey, if you know another gardener who could benefit from this information, share this article with them. Let's build healthier soil and more abundant gardens together, one cover crop at a time. Happy planting, and I'll see you in the next one.